Hey folks, Breath of the Wild introduced us to many new faces. Some friendly, some not so friendly, and one more terrifying than evil itself. One of the coolest in my opinion was the Sheikah's break-off rebels, the Yiga clan. Their story is short but sweet, and thankfully isn't entirely over following the main questline of the Yiga, but they've definitely got a bit of an uncertain future following what happened in Breath of the Wild. The questline concludes with Master Kohga dying by falling down the Yiga hole, but if we've learned anything through media over the years, they're not dead unless they're seen dead. Anyway, the future of the clan following the death of their leader is uncertain. Looking at this situation both in terms of what could happen now, just generally, but also with the sequel in mind, what's gonna happen to the Yiga? Will they fade out of existence? Could they have a huge bounce back? Or maybe they'll still be present, just less prominent. Or maybe they'll stay the exact same. That's what I'd like to discuss today. The uncertain future of the Yiga clan. What's gonna happen to them? Be sure to go and grab yourself a snack or a drink and send them in to get featured right here. Be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already, really helps the channel out, and let's get into this one. Okay, so I already briefly mentioned that the Yiga clan leader, Master Kohga, is dead, following his drop into the depths of the Yiga hole. But the Yiga foot soldiers and blade masters hiding all across Hyrule are still out there, and still actively out to get the hero and princess. When talking to those disguised as the everyday traveller, they'll sometimes mention the death of their leader. Sorry, the death of their leader, before going for the hero, saying they're going to send Link to join him. Obviously these Yiga members have never seen a Star Wars movie. He ain't dead unless we've seen him dead. Regardless, the entire clan seems to know of their leader's fall, but there's never mention of a new leader or what's gonna happen, and they clearly haven't disbanded. I'd assume nothing changes in game because it's all so soon. That, and it's a game with a limit, obviously. But let's start discussing where the future of the clan could, in theory, head to. From the unlikely to the more possible, with the highly anticipated sequel in mind as well. Idea number 1. There are few Yiga left by the time we are adventuring Hyrule again, but we actually work with the Yiga. Off the bat, this is pretty unlikely, and why I've put it first, but hear my idea out. I'll keep this one short, but my thinking here is that due to the passing of Kohga, okay, if he's actually dead or down here doing something, those that remain up here, leaderless, gradually begin to dwindle in numbers, and with no present leader, begin to lose their faith with the whole killing the hero and serving Ganon stuff. Whilst not in the best terms, for some part of the sequel, possibly for locating Ganondorf, we could team up with the remaining soldiers to aid Link and Zelda in finding the long-lost corpse. There is a chance they know a bit more than we do. Considering they have ties to the evil side of Hyrule, I wouldn't be surprised if in this situation that this could actually happen. We find out that the Yiga have some valuable information on how to locate Ganondorf. Perhaps it was part of a bigger plan following the whole Calamity Ganon showdown, that Ganondorf would rise again. I'm just making stuff up of course, but the Yiga are connected to this side of life. Personally, I think it would be really cool to team up with a former enemy in order to locate an even bigger one that we've met before. Idea number 2. Kohga is in fact still alive, and the Yiga have a second base deep below Hyrule. Given the mysterious nature of everything we know regarding what belows Hyrule, this can't be too far-fetched. In the game, we learn that the bottom of the hole in the Yiga clan hideout has technology at the very bottom. Through the Champions Ballad DLC, we learn of the Sheikah Shrine in here that is revealed by dropping a Sheikah orb to the bottom, placing it on one of the pedestals seen across other Sheikah puzzles. Clearly, something down here is man-made. What's to say there isn't a lot more? Already occupied by the Yiga. It could make a lot of sense considering the Yiga are a breakaway group of the Sheikah. They could easily know the whereabouts of Sheikah tech and whatnot hidden across the land, so say Kohga is still alive and has an entirely new base down here. I think it would be really cool if this was to be one of the hopefully returning dungeons. Fans really miss dungeons in Breath of the Wild, and I really wouldn't put it past the Zelda team to bring them back, and this would be such a cool way to do one of them. Create a larger, more complex Yiga hideout and make it a dungeon, with the final boss being the returning Master Kohga. I think it would be really cool if we met Kohga from the off, but he just escapes from us, forcing us to traverse this Yiga bunker and locate him. There are a lot of questions to ask about this place, such as do the rest of the Yiga know Kohga is actually alive? I'd like to think so and have many of them down here for their revival. Maybe the reward for beating this dungeon will be some vital info to help find Ganondorf. As I said, they do have ties. Who knows? But generally speaking, the idea of there being a lot more down here could be really cool, and help to bring longevity to our new enemies, the Yiga. Idea number 3. there is a new leader in charge, with new intentions. The small look at who else the Yiga clan could have involved that we saw in Age of Calamity was really intriguing for me. The inclusion of Soga... How do you say it?
I say Soga.
The inclusion of Soga, for example, showed us that in that timeline, if Koga was to no longer be present, somebody else with some authority could take over, either temporarily or permanently. I'm not quite sure who would be their new leader. That'd be a surprise for the sequel. I'd have them located somewhere new as well, somewhere more hidden from the world, somewhere that'll take a while to locate. I imagine bumping into a foot soldier somewhere for the first time in the sequel, just like in the first game, but right as the hero has bested them in combat, they fall to their knees and some dialogue begins. They tell us that the hero stands no chance now. They've acquired a new leader. Somebody big, tall and strong, but without revealing a name. We don't know how to find them, but as the story of the game progresses, we'll learn little pieces from Yiga encounters across Hyrule throughout the whole story, and later in the game, we'll eventually get a new quest added from somebody in the main quest, no idea who, just somebody later on, detailing where we find this new leader. We go on a grueling journey to find this new hideout, and eventually the new leader, revealing to us a new female Yiga leader. Big, tall and strong, ready for a battle with Link. The entire storyline, from learning about this new leader through others to meeting them face to face, we'd have a lot of interesting lore to discover regarding them, their backstory, and why they took charge of the clan. It would be the sort of story that is pretty light for the most part, but when we get later in the game, it really starts to kick off. And as for their new intentions, I was thinking it could be something along the lines of an entire takeover of Hyrule. Cut the Ganon ties, they have bigger intentions. It would change things up, and I think that would be pretty cool. Idea number 4. The Yiga have a new focus and plan in the works. Ganondorf. Let's assume the most assumable. Koga is dead and the Yiga clan move on. We learn in the Creating a Champion book that the Yiga were only known as the Yiga a little bit more than 100 years prior to the events of the game, when the signs of Calamity Ganon's return were definite. The history prior to this isn't exactly known, but they were present. The book also tells us that the Yiga hold more allegiance to their leader, in this case Koga, than Calamity Ganon, but still follow both as they have the same common goals, killing the hero and the one with the blood of the goddess. In the present now, both their leader and Calamity Ganon are no more. However, Link and Zelda are still around, so they've still got their goal, and there is of course now the returning Ganondorf, most likely their new big figure of evil to follow who also has similar goals in mind. I am proposing that in the sequel, the Yiga clan will become very Ganondorf focused, finding him, reviving him, and of course, helping him with the task of taking the hero and Princess out. It's probably the most simple way to keep the Yiga running, but I think it would be pretty effective. Bonus idea before we wrap up, the Yiga clan just simply dissolve into nothing. They are no more a group of the past, one to go down in history. End of. Personally, I don't think we've seen the last of them. I'm not sure where their future is headed. It's certainly uncertain. I hope you enjoyed listening to my ideas, and be sure to leave a comment down below with your ideas on the direction the Yiga clan should take in the sequel. I look forward to reading and replying. Thanks a ton for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, be sure to drop a like and consider subscribing for more fabulous Zelda content. If you haven't already, be sure to hop in our Discord server through the link below. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram to keep up to date, and as always, a huge special thank you goes out to all of my supporters across Patreon and YouTube, with special mention to new supporter Ashley and rejoining supporter Magikarp Kingdom. If you'd like to join them and get yourself a shout upon joining and your name at the end of every video, then consider supporting. Again, thanks for watching, and until the next time, I've been Pyro Gamer.